Don't do drugs.
Can you please state your name?
My name is Marcus Eugene Clay.
Can you please tell me what did you go to prison for and why?
I went to prison for serving Class A drugs.
And what was your time in prison like?
It was prison. It was just shit, man.
Do you know you have a son, and what are the ways that you would teach him to not be like you or go in the same situation as you was in?
I just need to teach myself, innit? Information, so I teach myself and I teach him the right ways. And he's gonna see it from both sides because his grandma is an officer and I'm a redner. So he's gonna see both sides.
How do you think rappers glamorize prison?
I think the way they talk about it is just like they try to make it sound like it's a family thing, that family members went to prison, and most of their guys, which they view as family, went to prison and they experienced the whole thing. So I think it's like they relate to it in a different way. So, but some rappers just don't know what they're talking about and like they make stuff up, and they just do it to build up the hype around it and like get more people to listen to them by doing false advertising.
Do you know any rappers specifically that glamorize prison?
Heady one as well, I think.
Yeah, and some other ones.
No, but then when you
Yeah.
think I know quite a few, wouldn't like to name them, but a lot of them just record themselves in prison saying that how it's a lot easy, they got everything they need in prison, so why not go for like commit a couple crimes, go to prison, do their time, come back out, come back in, you know, it's nothing to them.
Yeah, but some rappers don't like it. Like Mick Mill, when he came out, he released that song saying how he thinks the system's unfair.
Yeah.
That he went prison. He
Also,
enjoyed it.
some rappers see it as a prize to go prisons when they come out.
It's like
Yeah, yeah,
so
to
they
talk
can show
about
it off to
I
other
think it's
people.
an achievement that they went to prison and now they're out. They're like, yo, I went pen.
You're back out. on the
I'm
road.
back out, yeah. So it's like try to gas it up in a way that doesn't make sense.
So the first question is, can you please state your name?
My name is Lisa Campbell.
And how long have you been in the service for?
I've been in the service for 16 and a half years.
Have you witnessed any tragedies in the prison, and what were they?
I have actually. I had a tragedy on my unit actually, B Wing. I work at Brixton Prison and it's my unit that I work is a induction unit. We had a alarm go off and we went upstairs to see what was going on, where we found a prisoner on the bottom bunk of his bed in the recovery position. He had vomit coming out of his mouth and nose. And so what we did is we put him on the floor. The nurse was called. They tried to revive him. They actually worked on him. We had to put him out of the cell because, as you know, in prisons, the cells are really small. So we had to actually put him out onto the landing. And the ambulance came, 2 sets of ambulance came, they was working on him. They actually worked on him for about half an hour, and they finally got a pulse because he was unresponsive. So that was last Sunday. He had no brain activity. So yesterday, the family finally switched the machine off. So he died yesterday.
You're a prison officer, and you have a son that's been to prison before. And how did you feel at the time when your son went to prison?
Well, it feels great to be a prison officer. It could be really trying, and it could be very rewarding at times also. When my son went to prison, it really surprised me because I brought both my children up the same parenting style. They know what I deal with on a day-to-day basis. So when I found out he was selling drugs and got caught out and gone to prison, it was really demoralizing, because to know that I taught him better than that, and it's, you know, no one wants to see their child in a cage being locked up. So yeah, it took me a long time to get over it.
The last question would be, can you please give me a message to the younger generation to not put themselves at risk and to be in the same place as you work at?
Well, I just seem to think there should be a lot more discipline in the world, and you know, I just hope these next generation, you know, get a proper education and to be an example to their younger siblings and to their friends and their peers, because being in a prison is not a good place to be, and you know, there's so much for you to offer out there for you young people. So you know, I just hope that everyone stays in school, get an education, because education is the key, and please don't let me be the one locking you behind your door.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can you please state your name?
My name's Chris Jones.
What is your role as a governor?
I had many different ones. I joined as a prison officer, and I worked my way through the ranks, passed all my assessments and things, and became a governor. I've been head of security, I've managed lots of staff, I've managed budgets, I've run big wings. It was really enjoyable. I like working with people, and it was really good. I enjoyed it.
How old were you when you joined?
I was very young, perhaps too young. A very long time ago. It was 1983, and I just turned 20.
What big changes did you see working in the service?
Oh, lots and lots of changes. When I first started, there were no toilets in cells, so prisoners had to slop out every morning, which involved doing it in a bucket and emptying it every morning. Then after big riots in 1990, that ended. But I think probably the biggest change I've seen is the use and the influence of drugs. They're a big threat to society, and what happens in society is reflected on what happens in prisons, and I think that's the biggest change I've seen, the influence of drugs across everything, really.
Have you been in any danger whilst working in the service?
Many times. I've really been killed a couple of times. Almost had a 2 or 3 stone concrete block dropped on my head during a riot. I just managed to avoid it. I had people trying to stab me, people come up with machetes, people trying to hit me with chairs, but I managed to not get too badly injured.
And can you please give a message to the younger generation to not put themselves in a place where you work at?
Just be sensible. Don't listen to idiots. Don't listen to people around you. Don't be influenced. Make your own decisions. You've all got choices to make. I know it's not always easy. Life's not always easy, but make the right choice and listen to the right people.